Hi there. I've just come back from a wonderful 3-day public speaking coaching seminar from two of my favorite icons, Ken Dunn, who's the founder of Go Read Academy and is a bestseller book, has 5 books and the 6th one coming out, and Nick Boothman, who is one of my very favorite authors. He's written tons of different books, and he is, of course, those are just some of them. He has written about 5 books in 30 languages, has sold more than 30 million copies of them. He is a real maven in how to write a book, how to tell a story, and how to become a public speaker. He is a very well-known public speaker and an icon in the publishing, the writing, and the coaching industry. And one of the things I learned at the recent Speak and Get Paid 3-day seminar I was on is about IKOLAs. And when I talk about an IKOLA, I don't talk about this kind of a cola. An IKOLA means it's kind of like if you're a strict grammarian, you'll say, that's a metaphor. And you're right. I like to call it a word picture. And you can very effectively use word pictures in building your personal brand and in being very successful in your job search. Nick shared with us a number of examples that are so perfect. We know metaphors or IKOLAs or word pictures. We use them all the time. We're very familiar. Everybody knows from Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolate. Muhammad Ali, I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. We can use word pictures, which, as you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so you can use word pictures very effectively in building your personal brand. And I want you to think of the next job interview that you go on and how you can paint a picture in just a word or two that will make you memorable. Nick shared an experience of a young lady who worked in accounts receivable, and she was a debt collector. She worked in collections, and she'd been looking for a job for months, and she'd had lots of interviews and never kind of got the job. But he coached her to use an IKOLA, and so the next time she went for a job interview, she made sure that she said, you know, I'm kind of like a pit bull. Whenever I start on a project, whenever I start following up, I follow up and I follow up, and I'm tenacious and I never let it go until I reach my goal. And guess what? The next interview she went on, she got the job. And one of the comments by the panel of people who had interviewed her and dozens of other candidates was, you know, I really kind of like that pit bull lady. So use word imagery, use IKOLAs or metaphors to help establish your personal brand. Nick shared with us a big consulting project that he had done with a high-tech software company that I don't even know how to describe it. And so he spent 3 days with a group of engineers and high-tech marketing and salespeople, and they were trying to figure out how to explain the business. And so the engineers would go on for half an hour talking about all their different characteristics and what it would do and how it worked, and you know, his eyes would cross and he couldn't understand it. And so after several hours of working with the team, they crafted a very effective sales message. And the sales message that they crafted and trained their people on how to use is, hey, it's kind of like being in a glass bottom boat with my client. We can peek in and we can see exactly what's going on inside our company. And those 10 words or so summarized hours of technical explanation that many people couldn't understand, but it gave you a picture in your mind that was so powerful that you would remember that forever. So I want you to work on crafting your own IKOLA. How would you describe yourself? You could say, I'm working right now with a couple of people that I'm coaching. One is a career counselor. He's trying to set up a career coaching business. And so I'm working on an IKOLA for him, which is I'm kind of like a sports agent. I find talent, I help to nurture it, I help to package and position it, and then I represent you in trying to hook you up with the right team that's going to value your skills. So you see how you kind of paint a picture and then you explain what that means for you. Find whatever it is. I'm working with another person, and he is a SAP, S-A-P, sales consultant. I didn't even know what SAP was. I had to look it up. But as I'm looking at how can I make a word picture of this, I'm working with the idea, I'm kind of like an engineer for Legos. I help determine what kind of an outcome you want, and I help you put all the pieces together, find out which pieces you need and how they all go together. If you want a little thing, you only need these pieces, but if you want a huge Lego of a building or of Battlestar, something like that, then you need lots of different pieces of the puzzle from lots of different companies and different colors and shapes. And I'm the architect that helps you build that project with all the different bits and pieces. So figure out what your IKOLAs are. One idea is to make a post on your Facebook page. Say, hey, my friends, help me understand, how would you describe me? I'm kind of like a, and fill in the blank. And see what you learn about yourself and investigate yourself and think about, what word pictures can I use to talk about my skills and my attributes? And you might want to use several different ones because you might be talking about different skill sets that you have. Or for an interview might be different from when you're networking or when you're meeting somebody that you want to date. But find IKOLAs or word pictures or metaphors that help paint a clear and memorable picture of you in the person's mind, a little handle that they can use to grab onto the memory of their experience being with you to help to establish your personal brand. This is Diane Huth, the Accidental Career Coach. It's been great sharing another simple secret to career success with you this evening. Thank you.